Here we go, my friends. New quarter, new month, new you. Today on the Logistics Life. Hey there, my friends. Okay, so today is going to be a pretty short one. I'm getting a, way more emails, way more conversations with people that are talking about really this rejection slump again. And the idea that we as individuals are actually starting to get really affected by the down market. So here's one thing that I can tell you is, um, you know, as we go through these challenges, I think it's normal that we get down. I really do. I'm huge on personal development. I'm huge on positivity. Y'all probably see that by now, but I'm also huge on reality. Never used to be huge on reality until I got cancer, and then I was huge on reality. And I say to myself things like, we really have to pay attention to what's happening and how it's happening. And here's one thing that I can say is I believe right now is a time for testing. I believe right now, throw everything you can at the wall and see what sticks. I believe right now in working and solidifying customer relationships over anything else, and maybe just preparing for when the market turns. And I know that probably doesn't help a lot of you that are going into Q3 now, down on numbers, down on projections, probably getting pressure from the top to make things happen. I know over the past 2 weeks, I've had way more sales reps reach out to me talking about managers, like just in essence, um, I guess the commonality between them all, if I had to call it that, was they just don't get it, Dan. They just don't get it. Like I'm working, I'm trying, and things are not happening. And you know what? Here's the thing when it comes to pressure, right? Um, Pressure expands. And I think when managers are under pressure from higher ups, when higher ups are under pressure from investors, when, all this kind of stuff, I think there's a huge amount of pressure. And that pressure then dovetails because everybody starts worrying about the future and worrying about, like, well, am I going to lose my job because there's no results? And yes, I think people will. There was a recent report with C.H. Robinson laying off 50% of their sales staff in the U.S. Um, you know, I think there's more that's going to happen, but I still believe wholeheartedly there's opportunity out there. There really is. And there's opportunity if you're looking for it. There's opportunity if you believe in it. There's opportunity if you just be steadfast and continue what you're doing, how you're doing it. And more importantly, probably the most important piece is why you're doing it. So my message for you today is go back to that why. Think to yourself and ask yourself the question. Because I'll tell you one, full transparency. I've been asking myself this question a lot lately. Who needs me in my A game? It's not just new people. It's none of that. It's everybody is having an issue in this market. It's plain and simple. New people, like we're talking old dogs that have been in the industry. Like I'm 30 years in the industry. It's tough. It's challenging. It's almost some days where I'm like, man, I'm going to get out of this industry. This is crazy. How is this possible? There's some days I doubt my abilities. Like I think we all do it. And I really think that's the piece that most of us really, really need to stop and say, and even this weekend, I mean, I didn't sleep Friday night. I didn't sleep Saturday night because I'm worried about results. And, maybe you've been there. Maybe you are there right now. And I'm telling you, it's a real worry. Results are a real worry because, in the end, people say, well, money isn't important, but it's just as important as air, my friends. Right? Without it, you don't have a roof over your head. You don't have anything. So worrying about these things is normal. And in a market, especially in logistics sales, where we are commissioned sales reps, we don't move freight, we don't make money. Those worries become, I think, tenfold. If you're getting a salary and there's some leeway or there's some, gaps, I can see it a bit differently. But, I look at our businesses, and I look at my logistics business, and I look at the software, and I look at all of this, and I say, none of it's moving as fast as I want it to. But what gave me those numbers? Where did I come up with that? How fast it's going to move? That was just up here. It wasn't what markets were saying, or the real reality that if freight's down, volumes are down, what's going to be the big reason somebody's going to switch? Right? Do we investigate that? Do we monitor that? Do we see how that's going to end? So for me, I look at it and I say, that's very interesting. Very interesting. Because new quarter, new month, new you. So here's my challenge. And I'd love for you guys to walk with me through this. I am going to focus on getting more done in this quarter than I've got done in an entire year. And this comes right from, 12-week year. So if you don't have that book, grab that book because it's awesome. But that's what we're going to do. So my challenge to you guys is, let's get rid of all this negativity. Let's get rid of all the, it's not working. Let's find something that works. Let's start throwing everything at the wall, whatever sticks, double down, triple down on it, start looking at different ways. And over the next 12 weeks, we're going to talk every week. I'm going to share with you what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, what's happening, how I'm mixing it up, and how I'm making things happen. And hopefully that will inspire you to do the same. Leave some messages in the comments down below. Let me know what you're doing to change your results. Because in the end, I think, if we keep doing the same things we're doing and expect different results, we're like, it's just not working. Right. And I know you all know this, the definition of insanity and blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, in sales, a lot of the times we hear great information, we hear great tools, great strategy, great things. And it's like, and then within a week, we're back to what we were normally doing, because we sit there and we say, well, we're getting no results. This got me results in the past. I'm going to go back to that. And it's not always that clear. And what I mean by that is, over the weekend, I started thinking of this strategy, and I thought of my golf game. And I remember, back early in my business career, I'd won a sales competition at the company I was at. And the owner came to me and said, amazing job. I want to take you away to Golf Digest school. And I was like, yeah, I'm in. And I've shared this story a few times with you if you guys have been part of the podcast for the last couple of years. But the key nucleus of what I wanted to share with you is, when I got there, the golf instructor, who was Tim Mahoney, and at that point in time, it was in Tiger Woods' prime, when Tiger Woods had Butch Harmon as his golf swing coach. Like, Tim Mahoney was just below Butch Harmon from scale of like coaches in golf. And the first thing he said was, like, if you think you're leaving here at the end of the week, dropping your score by 10, you're wrong. Your score has to rise. Then as you perfect the strategy and you perfect the tools that I'm giving you and the way I'm doing it, then your score will start dropping. And I look at that and I think that's where we are in today's business. I think we're at a point when you look at, AI, you look at blockchain, you look at large language models, you look at functionality, you look at automation, you look at all of these tools and all of these things that you start stacking on each other to create a next level enterprise. It's all changing. And I think we need to retool. I think we need to stop and we need to say, okay, so this is working, this isn't working. But there's pieces of this that are working. So you see little glimmers in certain points, right? So it's kind of like your golf swing. When you pull your golf swing back, if you pull outside, you're going to cut. You pull inside, you're going to slice. So it's like, it's these little, like, 1 millimeter creates a huge difference. And that's really what I've been focusing on over the last couple of days, is which millimeters am I moving? I remember the late, great Bob Proctor said to me one time, he said, like, if you're trying to go from Miami to Toronto, and if you turn the wheel 1 inch, you're going to end up from Miami, you're going to end up in Vancouver, Canada. Complete opposite direction of where you're going. So I looked at that and I said, but what if we have to go to Vancouver now? right? So it's minimal changes create massive differences, and just stick to those changes, my friends. Like try and I'm saying try because it's easy for people to say, really hard for people to do. Trust me, I'm I'm going through a ton, right? I'm trying to get back a couple of years of my life. I'm trying to launch businesses. I'm trying to help salespeople. I'm trying to fulfill my dreams, my ambitions, my desires. I'm trying to help companies. I'm trying to build sales teams. Like, I got all these things I'm doing. And don't get me wrong, I love them all. I wake up every morning going, yes. But there are days where I'm like, oh, what is happening, man? Why is this happening? How do I change it? What do I do? So just move the steering wheel an inch, but let it run to see where you're going to be. That's the message. Have a great day. Have a very excellent 4th of July weekend for all my U.S. friends out there, or week, I guess. A lot of people, we're now, Tuesday? So a lot of people are gone by Thursday, out of the office. So have a great week. And remember, it's a very short shipping week. So be very careful, be very diligent. And remember, go out there, make every call educational, and crush your sales. Talk to you guys later.